Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FTRL. It is Thursday evening, which means it is time for your weekly dose of GT2 action, and the series reaches its halfway point around 7 and 8. Round 8 a little later on in the Group 3 is the Tokyo East Outer Loop, but we will start proceedings as always with the Group 4 race from the Red Bull Ring. And while looking at the screen, you will notice that we've left the sprinklers on, so get that yellow floor sign out. It is wet out there. So joining me on comms tonight is the Iron Fist himself, Mr. Pagani. Good evening.
Yeah, a bit too much today, but yeah. That's not the matter.
So a wet week is upon us. This is going to be a very big test of our GT2 drivers, because this is the first time a lot of them have had a wet weather experience.
It is indeed. I mean, I struggled with the GT1 wet week last season, so yeah, he's hoping he's doing a lot better than I did. We do have one four-wheel drive car, two four-wheel drive cars in the Mitsubishi team. You have a handle on four-wheel drive in wet weather.
Do indeed, and it was a massive benefit last season, of course, for those who watched the GT1. Myself and Kyle, my teammate, were in the GTR Nissan, which is four-wheel drive, and in the Group 4 race we literally walked away and ran off from the rest of the field, so it was definitely a huge benefit to have four-wheel drive. Of course, the Mitsubishis of Steph and Andy have that luxury about them as well, so four-wheel drive, so I'm looking at them for strong results this week, but say indeed a bit of practice we've been watching just before the qualifying started there. The McLarens are also up there as well, so don't discount the informed trio of Onso Felice, City Posh and Deluxe. Oh, let's switch back into the wall.
Yeah, that's usual.
In a straight line. In a straight line as well.
But yeah, the McLaren boys have been practicing a lot for these coming races. It does appear that every single person's gone out on track at the same time.
Well, the Mitsubishi boys have at least given us a bit of a gap, as has... Something just looks like the return to the pits. I can't see who it is. Junkie Sport come out. He's come out, he's P1 on my screen for some reason, but yeah, he's given it now. There we go, sorted himself out now. So yeah, they've actually spread themselves out finally. Now, the Red Bull Ring itself is not particularly a tricky track. It's a very simplistic layout, but still got a few points to weigh out for. Obviously turn 4, obviously turn 3 really, but officially turn 4, that downhill right-hander into almost a hairpin. It's tricky in the dry. It's going to be a tricky corner in the wet for the guys. So,
I mean, the Red Bull Ring in the dry is a very easy track to learn. However, in the wet, it's a lot of stop and start corners, which in the wet can be very difficult, as traction is at a minority tonight. It's not something you're going to find easily. So, yeah.
I noticed a few of the guys possibly looking to sling the traction on for this one, so let's see if that helps. So SPY is going to be the first one to start our lap. Let's go on board with the Alpha Man, get in cockpit view as well. So here we go, through turn 1. Nice and tidy. Up to the curb. You obviously want to stay off the curbs because they're going to be slippery and wet.
I was going to say touch the curb on entry and exit at turn 1, so it's feeling brave.
Indeed, up through what is technically turn 2, even though it's just a kink in straight. And then pick a braking marker. He's going to get on the curb there for the brakes. He's feeling confident out there. A little bit of a slide on the apex. Gets the back end back in line. Power down.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the boys cope with tyre wear in the wet. As it does affect the cars quite largely, as I found out through the first wet race I ever did.
Indeed. Going downhill into this round, nice and tidy. Now, this little sort of curved straight here is often fraught with puddles, so let's just see what the track's like again. Must be like keeping it neat and tidy though. Not too bad, you can see quite a lot of standing water on that part of the track, so that could catch a few people out. Through the left-hander, again out to the curbs, he's confident out there.
Every single person on the wet tyre, and I don't think it's going to get any lighter, so it looks like the wet tyre all around.
I mean, about GT Sport weather, it tends to just stay in one condition, so it should at least alleviate any worries about being on the right tyre. final couple of corners. Again out there on the curbs. He's a bit of a slide there. Catches it. That'll cost him a tenth or two. Again on the curbs there to the final corner. Neat and tidy. Bit of a slide as he gets on the power. Control kicks in. Over the line with a 54 flat.
City Porsche coming the lines of 51.8 though.
So at least second behind him, and look, a second behind him, so no, 2 tenths. Yep, let's sort yourself. Oh.
SBY's gone round to turn 1.
There we go.
That time.
McLaren's got a 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now I want to come and pick up the Mitsubishis who are coming around. Lap. Steph goes P6, so I think they'll be expecting a little bit better next time around, just finding the conditions.
At the moment, McLaren is looking for the wall. And you would expect the Mitsubishis to come into it a bit later on, maybe get a couple more laps under the belt.
Just find where the grip is, and Andy's late during the lobby, so he's not had a lot of running. Steph did turn a few laps before the qualifying started, so he's got a little bit of experience. He seems to be catching his teammate at the minute.
I think Zon must have had a wiggle on that lap instead of 2:13. Improving further laps.
McLaren's currently 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah, indeed. What do the McLaren boys do? Do they pit or are they on for better laps this time by?
If Elise has caught up quite considerably to the back of City Posh, so they're kind of running around trying to get a bit of a slipstream off each other. All about this, I'm saying getting a bit of a slipstream off a teammate.
Even though it is wet, there are 3 fairly long straights around the circuit, so a slipstream might not be the worst idea.
Doesn't improve. Neither does unsafe release. The look also doesn't improve. Donzo does go up to P3, so he splits the McLarens. SBY, we have that spin. Switch back in the pits, interestingly. Steph ahead of his teammate. He's coming to the line now. Looks like a good lap from him. Goes P2. Andy goes P8. So yeah, so Steph finding the grip now. Into a rhythm, got within half a second, but City Posh still a good half a second in the lead.
Spot also improved for himself back up to P8. So.
The notes and Warden.
Simmons not looking at their best this week. Obviously the wet weather not favouring them at the moment.
Steph goes very deep into 3. It's not there to break himself. I think he's just going to let Andy go through. So Bell's out of this lap. So it's down to a 2-minute flat. So vast improvement there, but still P10. Not enjoying these conditions. Of course, he's got a.
And he's pedalled by 10th and a half. And unsafe is about the same distance, so they probably won't be much to separate them at the line.
A couple of corners.
Taking a lot of curb.
Settle the car, but it's good traction. Going for the line. Does he improve? He does by 3/10. Unsafe. Goes P2. So he closes the 10th on his teammate. Still 8/10 in the rear. Yeah, just nipped up on a Steph. He's had a moment on this lap, so.
SPY's improved after that spin he had. Down to 52.8, puts him in 4th.
He's the current championship leader. We've got Spinner somewhere.
The look was 1. Nope.
So Andy goes P2. So Andy finding some speed and some grip. And he splits the McLaren pair at the top. So we've got McLaren Mitsubishi. Sport goes P6, so he's now finding some time as well. So the lap times as the grip is being found. like a lot of it. Oh, Junkie Sport has a huge tank slapper coming out of turn 1. Gathers it up.
I want to keep an eye on Switchback. She's the only person to pit so far. Everyone else the tyres they started on.
Yeah, so the tyre wear's not huge. So, to P2. Oh, say Felice is drifting, he's on the grass. Turn 5. So looking very squirrely. Is he going to pit in for some fresh rubber? There's not much wear. Because we found in the GT. I don't think we pit. Did we pit in the GT? Group 4. Can't remember.
We did pit in the race.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I couldn't think. Yeah, we did because I caught up and Carl of it. Yeah, I do remember now.
I think it was mainly for fuel. But
Yeah, I don't think we nearly changed tyres, did we?
City Bosch was there going around again, so
Very tight in this battle between second, third, and fourth. You've got City Posh, who is almost 8 tenths of a second clear. Then you've got Co-Andy, who is 0.043 ahead of Onso Felice. He's turned 0.063 ahead of Prototype Steph. So second, third, and fourth covered by less than a blink of an eye. Steph coming around. Is he going to improve? Looks like a good lap again. Does he goes P2?
those Mr. Bushes are looking good.
Yeah, they're finding into their rhythm now. These cars will be very stable as well. And the switchback goes.
Actually, he has 39.
Not the best. Saying winner last time out of Goodwood. And switchback currently pushing down in P9. GT Sport leading the charge for Citroen. Got Zom in a brand new livery. I believe another one of his mini Zom specials.
Indeed, I mean it does make it quite difficult to see in the dark weather, but that's fine.
Stealth Citroen. In fact, no, I'm not sure that is a mini Zom special. That is a political statement car. He does find some time though. Takes 3.6 seconds off his time, so he is now finally getting into a bit of a rhythm, closing the gap to the guys ahead of him.
So he's getting quicker every lap at the moment, so it's what you want to qualify, so hopefully he can get a little bit off it.
This will be his final lap. Some love in the chat there from CJ for the livery. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Up 3/10 as well in the first sector, but let's have a look at our current pole sitter. Does he improve? He does not.
Donzo has, but not by enough to get him into fourth place.
Still some time though, so they're going around again, and he's coming round as a step. And the improve. Not this time, there's Steph. No, so he has finished. He's the first one to cross the line. I think Andy got on. No, Andy said that Mitsubishis have finished. They are P2 and P3. City Posh is on a lap.
So I think our last time runner will be Deluxe.
So Junkie Sport in the pits. That will be the end of his qualifying. P7.
Switchback's coming across the line and does not improve, so he will be starting P9 unless a Zom improves.
Over the line. Comes down into the final couple of corners.
There's nothing separating City Posh and these two McLarens following each other like hawks this qualifying session.
To the final corner. Zach's in the chat there. He's not got a clean lap in, so quite managed to fulfill his potential. Zom improves his lap time, gets to within a second of his teammate, but he will be starting P10.
City Porsche is 10th down in the middle sector.
McLaren's into the final couple of corners in close formation again. This was all him with an excellent week last week, a P3 and a win.
It was a fantastic week for McLaren, especially with their wildcard in use.
Indeed. Here they come to the line. Steph doesn't improve. Unsafe does. He goes P3. So he splits the Mitsubishis.
Oh, SBY spun at the last corner. It is.
Indeed, Donzo doesn't improve. So Deluxe then the final one to cross the line. And he improved on his current P8. Not this time round. So there we go then. And City Posh takes pole position alongside Prototype Steph. Unsafe release Co-Andy on the front 2 rows. Then the Alfa Romeos behind them on row 3.
I mean, you would think that the Mitsubishi should be the best car off the grid.
Four-wheel drive will help them, but the McLaren's obviously the weight going to the back tyres. I've seen in GT1 the Alfa Romeos are quite quick off the line, but will they hinder that jump? Quick prediction then, who are you calling for the race win?
I'm going to go Steph. I always go Steph, so he will pull through. So.
I'm going to go with Andy for this one. And there we go. And it's fairly even. Oh, there come the Mitsubishis now. Steph, I think, has got the lead. He's got the inside for turn 1. Flash of the lights from Andy. Oh, Steph's gone straight on at turn 1.
Steph hasn't stopped.
So he pushed a little bit wide. Andy pop into P2. Steph is down to P4. As he comes back on the track, he's got Donzo alongside him. Monkey Sport as well. Straight on speed here. Oh, Steph there got the dream start, but outbraked himself into 1.
Andy's looking at the outside of City Porsche.
Battle for the lead, banging the panels, flash of the lights. Oh, he's cut back on the inside. That's the Mitsubishi's benefit, and into the lead goes Andy.
That's what I'm standing Mitsubishi.
Coming Junkie Sport to P4, so despite feeling a little bit tentative in qualifying, he's had a great start to this race, but Andy leads for Mitsubishi. Straight in the chat, Aaron with Pagani with a commentary curse. Oh, Andy sideways. Well, Steph has recovered. He's down to P6. Back on track. Andy there, just a big kick up there. Just got on the either in a puddle or clipped the curb. Mitsubishi got very squirrely under acceleration, but he gathered it back up. So he leads. City Posh second. Unsafe release is P3. Junkie Sport, great start from him. P4. Donzo P5. Steph is P6, trying to close back up. SBY P7, and you've got Switchback, who's jumped ahead of Deluxe. He's on in close attendance as well.
Oh.
Battle for P3. Junkie Sport down the inside.
AKA Blue Flag has put Steph going full spurs in turn 1.
Side by side, Unsafe release and Junkie Sport through the final corner. Citroen's got good traction. But here comes Donzo as well.
Donzo's coming. I was going to say, please boy, don't make it 3 wide in turn 1.
Donzo up the inside, is he going to get them both? He is. Unsafe release cuts onto the Junkie Sport. Junkie Sport's going down 2 spaces. 3rd to 5th, and here comes Steph. Back into this battle as well. So all the squabbling has let the Mitsubishi close up. So for this to the inside, Junkie Sport's trying to find a gap as well. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 3. Not quite. Unsafe release is taking the apex though. And he's back up into 3rd. Steph with the problem.
SBY's here as well now.
All contact with SBY and Steph. Steph trying to find a gap. Use the traction. Just found Alfa Romeos all around him. And SBY now up 2 places. Donzo has gone from 3rd to 7th in a couple of corners. And now Switchback's here as well.
That's something you never want. Switchback sneaking up behind you.
Meanwhile, at the head of the field, Andy continues to lead. And City Posh in close attendance. These two have made a break. They've got 3 seconds over Unsafe release and the rest of the field.
Aaron's commented he never knows who he wants to win GT2. He loves the ball. But the person he doesn't want to win the Switchback.
Steph down the inside of SBY. He's on the outside. Oh, SBY sideways.
Wow.
Yes, indeed, but that has dropped him behind Steph. So Steph up to P5. Starting to pick them off now. Fan out again a little bit.
City Posh is not letting Andy get away up front.
I thought the Mitsubishi would be off and away. Steph may well have been had he not have missed his braking point for 1. It's tricky to know where to brake on from a standing start. But wherever he did, it was not there.
In behind Junkie Sport now.
So Felice has just opened a little bit of a gap up. Junkie Sport. Right onto the rear wing. So after a squabbling for a couple of laps, and now just spread out a little bit. Steph going to have a look down the inside. Into 3 years, here he comes. Inside and gets his, does indeed, great move. Steph up to P4.
That doesn't even find another braking point.
Good look, and Zom also just off the back of this gap group, but they're not far away. Probably start squabbling again. We have a big train, but the race leader again on that curb. That gap is now nearly a second, and we're just eking a little bit away from City Posh, but City Posh is still right with him.
Can Steph claw down the gap to unsafe release? No, he's got past Junkie Sport.
1.5 seconds at the moment. You can see he's already put a couple of tenths, almost a second into Junkie Sport since he's overtaken him.
Oh, I think the switchback's had a wiggle, because now to look is in P8.
Indeed, just in front of his teammates. Gone by, has another one there through turn 6. So now Zom right on his tail.
That's Joe. That one, Zach. So, can't blame me on that one.
Gap between the top two has closed. City Posh now within 6 tenths of Andy again, but Andy's still leading.
City Posh has won his first race this season. He has fought every race since. He's flying with confidence at the moment.
We saw first week how much he struggled in both races. Did not suit the McLaren at all, to the point where he got lapped possibly twice in the Group 3 race, but since then he's been the form man. Steph is closing on unsafe release. So we've got Mitsubishi leads McLaren, and then McLaren leads Mitsubishi.
Like you said earlier, Donzo has pulled away from his team at SBY and is on the back of Junkie Sport now.
Deluxe has closed in on the back of SBY as well. And Switchback has regrouped. Coming as well. Zom hanging onto the tail as well, so all to play for then.
I must admit, I'm not enjoying watching the sit-run struggle. That's not filling me with confidence.
It does. Yeah, well, of course, we have the Group 4 race for Group GT1 is next week, and we're at Spa, followed by the Group 3 race, which will be here at the Red Bull Ring. So, big powerful cars. Andy just extending that lead again, doing a personal best in the middle sector. Steph, meanwhile, now right on the tail of unsafe release for Mitsubishi. Unsafe moving around, you can see how much they've now pulled away from Junkie Sport. 4 seconds in a couple of laps. Now I'm not surprised that go on, sorry.
I was going to say, I'm looking at the fuel and the boys might be able to get away without a pit stop.
Tight Andy's pit stop, 1 second penalty. It shouldn't be a problem to get rid of. Steph has just done the fastest lap of the race at 51.9. We're both under 52. Back. SBY looks to have regrouped. He's coming back onto the tail of his teammates. A little bit wide through one. And we've got rid of the attention of Deluxe, who's got Switchback all over the back of him. So I think he's had a little bit of a wiggle on that lap. Just lost a little bit of time, but still hanging on, and still leads. That gap with City Posh just fluctuates a little bit, but further about a second, just under a second. Steph looking to make a move into turn 4. On the inside of unsafe release, but not this time. Quite close enough, but now starting to show his nose. Steph wants to get past. The gap isn't huge to the top 2. They're not battling, but they're not really. Oh, he's going for a move here into 5, is he? He is down the inside. Oh, unsafe release drifting. Trying to hang on around the outside. He's going to hang on for now. Great work from unsafe release. Steph still on the inside.
Obviously there is a nose up the inside. It's very difficult going to make a move. Unsafe release hangs on.
Curve there, getting all squirrely. Steph's got a good run. Flash of the hazards. Unsafe release hanging on. Inseparable at the moment, as are the pair battling over P3. City Posh just happy there, and he's a little bit wide through one. He's going to give City Posh a run.
Gaps down on the straight.
Slipstream tucked in, closing. Can't see a move. And he's just going to sit in for a little bit longer.
Looks like he's happy there.
Through the corner.
Mid-corner.
So he got a lot more speed there, and he's just getting rid of his penalty though, so back on even. And the gap between City Posh and unsafe release, still 3 seconds. Steph is right under his wing again though. He's got a good run out of 3. Unsafe release just covers him a little bit. Steph again to the inside. Not close enough though, just showing the nose. Unsafe release is wide.
Sled.
And Steph is through, gets the power down. That four-wheel drive pulls him up into P3, so the recovery continues. It's a good move there, forcing the mistake from the McLaren man onto the podium.
Now can he claw down that 3-second gap to City Posh in front?
Junkie Sport still holding off the Alfa Romeo duo. Donzo in close attention, SBY just a second behind. So there with a personal best in the middle sector. Behind them, Switchback has reclaimed P8 from Diluc. Pulled a little bit away, and Zom in close attention as well.
City Posh McLaren outside there at the last corner. Then there's Harry the Boy curve if you've been following us for a long time and they're up.
Got the fastest lap from Steph. Lowers the bar again. 51.8 this time. City Posh, big clip of the curb on turn 1. Steph, you can see now, is just starting to open that gap up to unsafe. The question is now, what can he do about the race leader? City Posh last time did a 52.8. Steph did a 51.8, so he took a second out of the cars ahead of him that lap.
He took a second out and overtook unsafe on the same lap. So
Steph very quickly be there. Andy now trying to make a bit of a break. He's got that lead over a second again. Inside it in.
Good points.
Yeah, the mitts on the straight just ain't good enough, but has to keep pulling it back in. Indeed, yeah, City Posh is in form worthy of a champion. Well, he is the informed man. He's Diluc has had a wobble. He's down to P10. So he's almost caught and passed him. So got away with that one off camera. Andy, having assumed the lead, is hanging on to it despite the pressure from City Posh, which is not going away. So he's not dropped the McLaren. But Andy driving very well.
He hasn't had all the time in the world to practice, as he was waiting for the update to copy until 5 minutes before the race.
Indeed, so Steph not really taking too much time out of these two at the moment. I don't think he's had the best lap. He has got rid of the attention of unsafe release, so he's not defending. He's not really pulled in. So City Posh does a 52.0 that lap. Steph does a 51.8, so he actually lowers the bar, so he does take a few tenths out of them, but City Posh is hanging on.
We're past halfway and everyone still has half tank fuel. So
yeah, it doesn't look like you can see any pit stops. Yeah, everybody's over half a tank, so yeah.
Unless tyre wear sets in.
A poor run for the first corner. Close that gap up to half a second again. He does set a personal best in the first sector, so he's struggling a little bit in the first sector, Andy, but he can come up in the rest of the lap. Posh on his tail again. Steph chipping away.
Whatever happened, I think Steph will be kicking himself about turn 1.
Unless he can get back on terms. So for least now 2.3 seconds behind, so he's just falling away. Can't live with the pace of the Mitsubishi. Continues to just chip away at that gap. 2.3 seconds now, the gap between City Posh in P2 and Steph in P3. And he's just opening that gap again a little bit, 7/10 for the lead.
Junkie Sport in P5 just set his personal fastest lap of the race and pulled the second gap out from there behind him.
Donzo's just off the back a little bit, and SBY is now closed in on his teammate. Donzo does his personal best in the middle sector. Switchback now has got a very lonely 5-second gap in front, 9-second gap behind. Son holding on to P9 and Deluc trying to play catch up again. After his moment, so Andy crosses the line, 52.1, his personal best. City Posh 52.4. Steph 51.6, fastest lap of the race again from Steph, and now that gap is 2 seconds. Now that gap is coming down.
3 on the bounce. Steph is pushing.
Yes, indeed, that gap is now under 2 seconds.
Well, only half a second more and he will be in second range of the car in front.
So CZ wants to know, will Andy push City Posh back into Steph? Well, I don't think he needs to, because Steph is coming anyway. Personal best again in the first sector. Steph is absolutely flying.
I'm having a look at tyre wear and it would appear that Andy's front tyres are the worst worn in the grid. I mean, there's not a lot of tyre wear, but
No, very true.
in the wet it is something sort of an exacerbated problem as Andy gets a little slide.
I've seen Andy just missing a few apexes, so I just wonder if he's just rubbing a little bit more off the tyre with some of his lines. City Posh keeping it neat and tidy.
Oh, Steph's got another 4/10. He's purple again in sector 2.
City Posh a little bit sideways through that corner. It could have just been the camera angle. All you've got 3 for the lead, because that gap is 1.2 seconds. He's at 0.8 of a second out of it on this lap. Steph is flying. He's got the red mist descended, and he's putting it to good use. He's back in this battle for the lead now. Top 3 covered by 2.1 seconds. What is this lap going to be from Steph? So Andy does a 52.2. City Posh a 52.0. Steph a 51.3. 7/10 of a second he's taken out of the lap.
Quickest man on the track by far at the moment.
He's there, he's within slipstream range now. It's 1.2 seconds. He's 1.9 off the lead. So Andy, who has led most of this race, is now coming under threat from his teammate, as well as City Posh. Will City Posh get the hurry up on and try and take the lead away now? Because he's going to be attacking.
7.5 minutes left.
Bit of a wiggle there. 1.5 seconds cover the top 3. 7 minutes left. So we're looking at 4 laps. 4 laps to go. What can Steph do in the next 4 laps? Unsafe release has now got a very lonely race. 5 seconds.
Oh, City Posh is sideways.
Ooh,
He's very sideways.
he is indeed. It's giving Andy some breathing room. And he's going to bolt. And that will get Steph very interested. Andy taking the karting line there right round the outside, looking for the grip off the racing line. It's a trick they do in real life. Get off the racing line where all the rubber is. Have to be a little bit more slippery. Go out onto the edges of the track where the dirt and all that builds up, and it provides you more grip in the wet weather. So Andy's lines may look a little unconventional, but in actual fact, for wet weather driving, he's exactly where he needs to be.
So further back, SPY's got past his team in it. So SPY's in 6th, Don's in 7th now.
Indeed. Can't do anything about closing the gap to Junkie Sport. Switch back in a very lonely P8. Deluc has caught and passed Som again. So back up into P9. Still battling.
Yeah, I know that Zom hasn't really been in Group 4, especially in a way. I know he much prefers the Group 3, so...
So we're a little bit late, but a little bit better in the second race. Steph now right on the back of City Posh, so run up through turn 2. He's down the inside. City Posh gives him the room. Steph backs out of it though, just showing the nose. There's a bit of a wobble trying to get the power down. He's caught 3 or 4 tenths off Andy. Only did a 51.6 on that lap, so his run of consecutive fastest laps is broken. But
sideways in the Mitsubishi.
His lap, even if it wasn't the fastest lap overall, still would have been the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, he is literally the only car in the
He has lost a bit of time. He is indeed. He's lost a little bit of time, so he's got to get back on the tail now.
Out of those 3 cars, City Posh has the lowest fuel.
Probably 3 laps remaining. Oh, he's a little bit wide.
Deep.
So did Andy. Both Mitsubishis went a little bit deep that time. Lost a bit more time.
Lost 2 seconds this lap now.
He's going to start setting some 51s again. What's this lap time from him here? 53.6. Yeah, big loss of time on that lap.
City Posh on a 52 lap. Can he sneak it away from this Mitsubishi pair?
He's been there pretty much all race. Pole position, so he's no slouch, but Steph now has to regroup. Try and close that gap down again. Change for position. Donzo up the inside of FBY into turn 1. FBY has a big wibble. I'll say it again. He's had a wobble out of turn 1. It keeps changing my mind between wobble and wiggle. Big wobble out turn 1, caught it, but Hazel dropped down to P7 again.
Well, we saw what the update, the Alfa Romeo was given some weight. Was it last week before? So I'm not sure how it would affect the wet conditions, but yeah. So I can't imagine it being very good.
So Steph has got the magnets back on again, closing back in to within a second of City Posh. Here we go again. Grouped, got himself back on the tail. Still got 2 laps to go. Also Felice there in the background, just running around at a very lonely P4, but good points again for the McLaren man.
Yes, indeed.
Donzo, meanwhile, right on the back of Junkie Sport now, so he has finally bridged that gap.
Oh, SBY sideways in the background. Clip that exit curve.
Donzo up the inside, around the outside. Junkie Sport, straight line speed advantage of that Citroen. Oh, hang on, Andy is getting away again. He's got that lead over a second. City Posh has not had the best lap there. 52.2, 53 flat from City Posh. Steph with a 51.4, so he's got back into his groove. Just the second fastest lap of the race, that one. He's now back on the tail of City Posh. Can he get a Mitsubishi 1-2? 1.3 seconds covering the top 3. Again, Andy's not the best run. City Posh with a purple first sector, so he's had a good run this time.
Oh, SBY's on the grass in turn 1.
Indeed, he's got a big gap. Switchback just coming out turn 1 now, so he should hold position. But I'll get Switchback interested. Andy Look and Zom run very lonely races at the moment. And these are a little deep. City Posh is even deeper. Oh! Gathers it up. Just about. Andy went deep. I think City Posh followed him in with his braking point. And they both almost ended up in the gravel. Both saved it, but now Steph is right there. And he's got that lead up again. He is indeed. Got this bit time to pounce. He's showing up the inside there, just trying to show him in the mirrors. Where is the gap? Where can he make the move? Where is the Mitsubishi stronger? Looks as if turn 4 could be the place to do it. If he can force a mistake.
That McLaren's looking a little bit sideways on exit at the moment.
Indeed, neat and tidy through the penultimate corner this time. Can they close in on Andy? So, final lap, here we go. Andy across the line, 52.4. 51.9 from City Posh, so that was his personal best. 51.7 from Steph. So City Posh finally breaks the 51s and then is a little bit sideways, Andy's a little bit wide.
Turn 1! Is this going to be the run that he needs? Into turn 2.
4/10 of a second to cover the top 3. 4/10 of a second. And he's going to have to get defensive here. Step to the inside. City Posh trying to go around the long way. And he's gone deep.
The breaking point.
Step up the inside. Oh, City Posh has got sideways. And Steph takes the lead and he's thrown it away on the last lap.
He's only got back past City Posh to run. What's going to happen to turn 4?
City Posh is looking.
Down the inside.
Is Andy going to go deep? He is. Oh, and he's off. City Posh is going around as well. And Steph is going to win. That's now pretty much decided. Oh, Andy is going to be fuming with himself. City Posh still wiggling down the straight. But through it all, Steph.
Oh, Andy's off again.
Was unsafe release. Andy's head's gone. He just needs to get his head down again. He's going to be cursing.
So
damn you, Lennon.
Andy, blame Lennon.
But having run wide at turn 1, although he's going deep into the penultimate corner. We thought we'd thrown it away, but he has fought back magnificently, and then on the last lap has stolen the victory from his teammates, stolen it from City Posh. Prototype Steph wins his first GT Sport race. Congratulations to him. City Posh will come home P2. Andy just holds off unsafe release for P3, but he will be cursing. I imagine unsafe who comes home P4. Donzo P5. SBY has picked switch.
Junkie Sport.
Oh yeah, so Junkie Sport. No, he's not out of fuel, so something's gone wrong for Junkie Sport on the final lap. He's dropped places to SBY and Switchback.
Was it? Apologies for not noticing that was Junkie Sport, but we had a little bit of excitement happening on that last lap. So.
Indeed. Junkie Sport will cruise home very slowly.
I don't think he's best pleased.
No, perhaps not. No, yeah. Going to graze his car a little bit on the wall and going to look hands-on for So, Steph wins.
It does indeed. I've just seen Andy put in the Discord a lot of vomiting faces and some crying faces.
Gutted. I thought I had him down for the win. I said at the start of the win, you called it right. Called it right. Well, what a dramatic finish to the GT2 race.
Well, we might not have had the most cars on track tonight, but again, the GT2 boys do not let us down on track.
What a finish, what a finish. Steph there managing to, well, we thought he bridged that gap, but then made a mistake and then had to catch back up again. And then manages to pull it off when Andy going defensive from City Posh. Both of them go deep into turn 3 and Steph is just down the inside.
Well, Andy's come in the YouTube chat saying be right back, gonna commit. Wow, oh wow.
Yeah, I can sympathise with Andy throwing it away. Felt like a surefire win. Andy drove so well for so long in that race. Led from, when did he inherit the lead? Lap 2 was it? Lap 1, 2 or 3 he took up the lead. And he led all the way. And then on turn 3 on the final lap. Yeah, he got the lead early on, didn't he? Definitely got the lead early on. Led for 95% of that race. And then for it to all go wrong, and then he thought he'd got P2 back, and then obviously City Posh and him battling over P2. Both of them then go deep into turn 4, sorry. Drama on the last lap, but great race.
Unsafe has said he's already mentally exhausted after that race, so unfortunately you've got to do it again for 40 minutes this time now. Yeah, wet races are particularly difficult on GT Sport. Now I expect to see more or less everyone go out on track now and get a handle on the conditions.
Of course, the interesting thing about Tokyo is obviously you've got this big tunnel section which is dry, so they're not going to know what the conditions are until they get out of the tunnel. Of course, we were racing at night as well, so we see a lot of stunning water. Beautiful. It looks stunning, the circuit with the rain on it.
The race start is going to be very interesting, as we'll be starting in a dry tunnel on wet tyres.
See, pushing the wall, just clips the outside there. Again, does look like a heavy...
Oh, that McLaren's looking fun.
Well, we said this about it at Bathurst, and he won there. So, we know he can handle the slightly tricky and lively nature of this McLaren. How is he going to do on the wet circuit though?
Well, so far, only 4 guys out on track. I mean, to me, that's a mistake. You want to get out, learn your conditions, make sure you're on the right tyres.
Just getting into the lobby first, so yeah, the guy's starting to flood out now.
I'm not entirely sure we can show Zach's car on stream.
Yeah, of course, yes. So we've been told to look out for the Citroens because they're running some new liveries. So let's have a quick look.
It's got some blow-up dolls on it.
Interesting. Not giving me the best view of the blow-up dolls.
It's a good job about practice. You can still go on board with the cars. I wouldn't advise it.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Funny. So switch back with his new livery. Circuit currently being drenched by the tears of Andy.
Well, I mean, he's out on track, Andy, so obviously we'll wait until after this race to commit whatever he was going to commit. So, well, I mean, we won't have the advantage of four-wheel drive in Group 3, as like every single Group 3 car is rear-wheel drive.
Oh, indeed.
Still, we have Zom and Sport just sat a bit. I think Unsafe's in there too.
So I know Zom and Unsafe are doing some lobbies in the day, so they're not completely out of awareness of what the conditions will be like, but so just be good to get out just to be sure.
I was going to say, I know last season from experience it was a case of there was about 7 or 8 of us in a party. All of us went out in the lobby to try and find out what conditions were like as soon as possible. So
Indeed, yeah. So switch back, they're going round at the hairpin, which will be quite tricky in these cars and these conditions, so watch out for accidents there.
well, Junkie Sports put an angry face in the chat, so I'm not entirely sure what has happened in that race.
Sure, we'll find out in due course. Any thoughts on who you fancy for the win in this one?
I mean, it's very difficult. I think everybody's going to struggle with conditions. I mean, all of us GT1 boys struggled last season with conditions. I I mean, it is hard to look past City Porsche. He's looked very, very good in the Group 3 car.
Indeed.
I mean, I know Aaron was supporting City Porsche earlier, so yeah, I'll stick with that and go with City Porsche in this one, I think.
It's going to be difficult to look past him. Although Steph wasn't feeling particularly confident in the Group 3 Mitsubishi as he was in the Group 4.
Well, I think Zach has the most extravagant new livery. Junkie Sport is sponsored by Wonderbra, and Zom is sponsored by Victoria's Secret. So,
classy lady.
However, Zach is the only person to have blow-up dolls on his car, so...
Yeah, playing to Junkie Sport. He worked his magic again.
He has indeed. I mean, and Summer's car that has purple exterior. I'm not going to say anything else, but you don't want it behind you, that's all I'm going to say. Well, currently Don's was going fastest, and the Alfa Romeo just quicker than City Porsche.
SBY is going a lot quicker this lap. He was purple in sector 1, so...
Well, normally around the Tokyo tracks you do see a lot of slipstream battles. However, with wet weather those are a lot more difficult.
Very true. I say it's circuit. Obviously, the main start-finish straights are so long. You definitely want to be in the slipstream there, but through the rest of the lap, you kind of want to give yourself a little bit of a gap just so you can see where your braking points are, your turning in points. There's still quite a high-speed track even in the wet, fast-flowing corners. SBY is flying on this lap as well, so don't want to count out the Alfa Romeo guys. The form cars in the first couple of races, especially in Group 4. SBY's been strong everywhere. I think that last race was probably one of his weakest of the season. He struggled a little bit at Goodwood last time, but had a good race at St. Croix afterwards, so don't discount Alfa Romeo.
I think a lot of people look at the wet race as a sort of damage limitation, but I think then they surprise themselves with how well they do, so it'll be interesting to see who has confidence in these conditions.
City Porsche has just gone fastest again, taking it away from Donzo. SBY was up on his lap time. He goes... improves but stays P3, but closer to win 6/10. Looking close between McLaren and Alfa Romeo so far.
I mean, I haven't seen City Porsche look indifferent in the car besides those first two races. Since then he's looked very, very strong.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of these boys don't have a lot of mileage in these cars.
Look's got 1,700 miles on his McLaren.
This is the City Porsche.
1,400 on his Alpha, so yeah, he's
Those McLaren boys have been practicing. Wait, as is everybody. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of these boys would slide straight back into the GT1 grid.
indeed.
The time and effort the boys put in.
Tom's gone P4, so showing a bit more pace in the Group 3 guys, expected.
I mean, I'm hoping that sit run goes well, because in the dry it tends to kill me, so I'm hoping it goes well in the wet.
Tom will be starting on pole position, so we saw him lead for a good number of laps last week at St. Croix. He's in the battle for top 5 finish.
I mean, if you weren't driving your Lamborghini, is there any specific car out of this group you would sort of gravitate towards?
Based on experience, I mean, most of my experience personally is in front-engined cars, so I would probably be looking at the Mitsubishi. I think it would be reasonably stable, you know what it's going to do. There was a wet race in the FIA Nations Cup not too long ago around here, and I actually went out in the GTR, even though most of the people were actually in the Peugeot Vision car.
Yeah.
Despite a poor qualifying, I actually managed to get into the top 10. I finished probably 6th or so. It was actually a race that Kyle won, my teammate. We were in the same lobby. He won that one in the Peugeot. I finished like 8th in the end. Could have been higher, so yeah, that would probably be personally, but we shall see. Suppose be starting practice in the Lamborghini next week from the weekend onwards. We've got a week on the horizon.
Wet tyres, dry track. Gonna have to be careful off the start lap.
Revs are up, and away we go. Tom off the line well. He looks about to get swamped by the other two Citroens as they run out the 3 wide. He's got away okay though. McLaren in a sandwich.
Steph's had a very gentle start. I don't think anybody behind Tom can see anything, but that's quiet.
Sport's got the slipstream, he's dragged through into P2, Swiftback's got the inside for turn 1. In fact, Junkie Sport going for the lead. He's going deep.
On the outside.
He's going very deep into the wall. As does SBY, as does Andy. Oh, City Posh is round.
Oh no.
So, City Posh has not had the best start. Andy's had a moment as well. I think he might be waiting. I think
they might be in contact.
Battled all race in race 1, and they've come to blows at the start of race 2. So that Junkie Sport is your race leader.
Unfortunate for the pair, but great sportsmanship shown by Elliot.
Zonmar in P2. The look in P3. Switchback didn't get the move done. He's down to P4 and he's got the rest of the field. Tucked it right behind him, led by SBY, who's had a good start. All over the back, he's got unsafe release tucked under his wing. Donzo there as well, and Steph trying to keep out the spray. Down the inside of unsafe release goes Donzo.
Oh, SBY's had a much better run than Switchback. Switchback is in 4th. That's it, very good off the corner.
Indeed, look now looking at Zom into the hairpin as they come into the first time. Zom will hold position.
Well, this hairpin is the danger zone of the track.
Unsafe release with a late move. SBY's gone very wide into the hairpin. Oh, and switchbacks.
Round. As is Steph.
Contact there. Let's see. Posh. Oh, who goes into the door of Steph.
Oh, Andy's round in the background.
Oh, that hairpin very tricky. All that's left Junkie Sport.
And now for me, we'll be taking someone in a straight line. But Bonzo and SBY have both come past on safe release.
Better run off the corner that group 3 outfit. Too bad in a straight line. Compared to the group 4 one anyway. However, they're now side by side, and it's going to give McLaren an excellent tow down the straight. Trying to find a way through though, because they're blocking the road. SBY holds on, drops in front of his teammate, who's a little bit wide. So he's through, no, he stays where he is. Just see the top of Zach's car.
Yeah. Well, up for it, Junkie Sport is pulling away from his teammate Zom in P2. Zom, open the zone, still in P2, got a 6th gap to the look.
Indeed, so there's a bit of a 4 seconds gap, so these two are currently 4 seconds ahead of SBY. Bonzo and Unsafe Release, who are battling over 4th, 5th and 6th. So a nice gap there for the 3 at the moment. And Tom said he's been turning some laps with Tomo earlier, so feeling confident, or more confident in this one. And it's showing so far. Although he's gone deep there, he's in the wall. Oh, I let Deluxe through. I think Deluxe went into the wall as well, actually. So fire.
He is closing, and we have the hairpin coming up.
That is half the gap behind them as well, down to 2.6 seconds. Alfa Romeo's and that second McLaren. On a charge to look, thinks about a move down the inside, not close enough. Bit of a wiggle there on acceleration from Zonwa.
That wall tag for our P2 battle is at a 3.5 second gap now.
So our winner from Autopolis in week 1 to add to his collection here.
Well, the race not currently one plan for Mitsubishi 1-2 in the last race. 29th, well, he didn't get 1-2. And he then went to gravel, didn't he?
Indeed. 1 and 3.
Yeah. Well, currently 9th and 10th.
Alfa Romeo side by side, Donzo sweeps by into P4. So they try and close on Deluc, who's taken over at P2 from Zom. Slides across into the P2, and the brakes those Zom's back up the inside. Goes a little bit deep, switch back from Deluc. Has he got the traction? Oh, he has a little bit of contact. Hangers on around the outside, but through they go. So good battling there. That's allowed Donzo to close up to within 1.6 seconds, and he's got side by side with his teammate again. That's left-hander. You want to be following through there rather than going side by side.
Yeah, I helped Forum getting some speed through there last season. Just tagged the wall and I came through and pushed him up, then went at 3 miles an hour through the rest of it. So, the walls are very close at Tokyo.
Indeed.
So any little mistake is sort of magnified.
City Posh on the back of switchback P7 as he recovers, although he's very lively there. Steph keeping a watching brief on the pair of them.
He is. He may be in 8th, but he has gained a second at Junkie spot, so he is currently going quicker than the race leader.
Oh, Deluxe round.
Oh no.
Was the contact, or has he done that himself? Oh, he's hit the wall as well. The Deluxe drops out of P2. Was the contact, or has he lost it on his own? Oh, Zom was round at the hairpin. It's all going wrong. And all that SBY comes out in P2, Donzo P3 and Unsafe Release P4, so the cars who were running second and third both having incidents with a corner of each other. And they're down to 8th and 9th.
This has given Junkie Spot a 7.4 second lead.
So what can the Alfa Romeo pair do now that they are clear? Seem to be working well together. Unsafe Release hanging on to the back of them as well. Can they start to close down on Junkie Sport? Good gap to do.
Well, what I will say is that sit run is drinking fuel compared to drivers.
Indeed. City Posh around the outside into turn 1. He's gone a little bit too wide, I think, of the wall. Oh, switchback's lost it on the traction again. Down to P8, so Zonwa sneaks back through to look, and Andy are battling over P9 and 10. They're not too far behind either, so the guys getting caught out by these tricky conditions.
You know earlier when I said the Group 4 sit run isn't giving me much hope in the wet conditions? I've now seen 2 Group 3 sit runs spin, so yeah.
It's gotta be just take solace in the fact that at least one of them is winning the race. So. Oh, he's having a huge wobble there. Gathers it up though. That gap just coming down a little bit. He has pulled through. Oh, he's in the wall. He's had a bit of a slide there. And Donzo's in the wall behind, so everybody's struggling a little bit in these conditions at the moment. SBY in the wall coming out of the S's.
There's been a lot of sparks tonight.
So for these right back onto the table against City Posh after that opening lap spin is up to P5. 14 seconds off the lead though. Steph now P6, just keeping out of trouble. Zom and Switchback are 7 and 8. Switchback looking at the inside of his teammate coming into the hairpin. Drops back in. Look P9 and Co-Andy P10.
I think the triple smear of this track is this hairpin. The switchback clips the curb on the exit, gets a little sideways. But it is the main traction point for the circuit. City Porsche is set fastest lap.
2:13.0. The race leader 2:13.9, so he's taken about 9/10 out of Junkie Sport that lap. And one way to go. SBY has slipstream past his teammate back into P2, so the Alpha boys are working very well together. Donzo looked up the inside into 1, but just the camera angle. Some sparks
He
there.
appeared to be swapping on the straight every lap.
It's a good strategy. Oh, SBY. Looking lively. And he took a 10th out of Junkie Sport on that lap, so not making huge gains.
Steph, after his sluggish start, is up at P6 after the incidents for everyone behind him.
Switchback and Zom have swapped places. Did look to continue to close in on them as well. 9th and 10th. Junkie Sport, though, is your race leader. Personal best in the middle sector there as well, so still pushing on. And so Alfa Romeo's closing up in the twisty section here. I would expect them to do so. And then on the straight, SBY drifting through the S's. That's not going quickly. That's lost him about 2 or 3 tenths. Oh, Donzo's on the wall.
That's his unsafe release behind.
Big slap against the wall there from Donzo. That's just let SBY get out of slipstream range.
Unsafe release down the inside at the hairpin.
He's going for it. Can he get it stopped though? Answer is no.
Run deep. But it will give him a better run on the straight if he can get a good exit.
Into the slipstream. These two are going to have to work together now because they've lost the slipstream to SBY. City Posh gap's about the same to the race lead, so he's not had as good a lap this time around. Zom and Switchback have just swapped places again. Zach is sideways on the straight, trying to get the power down.
Junkie Sport has responded. He did set fastest lap temporarily, but SBY has matched it.
So just takes a little bit of time out of Junkie Sport like that. Donzo managed to tail down the straight. And so he seems happy to just sit behind at the moment.
Well, these two battling will bring City Posh back into the battle for the podium.
Indeed, 4.9 seconds the gap at the moment.
Which, considering he was backwards at lap 1, was 8 seconds behind. He's fighting his way back through.
Switch back down the inside, clips the wall, side by side with his teammate. Keeps it pointing in the right direction this time. Still side by side through turn 2. Switchback now drops in ahead. Well, that is letting Deluc and Coandy get back onto their tail, so these two are going to have a bit more company in a second.
Oh, you've been on board with City Posh through those fast S sections. He was completely sideways, but fully in control. I mean, he's got the gap down at 3.5 to his teammate.
Indeed. So 8.1 seconds. Junkie Sport is just pushing that gap up at the moment a little bit. Now responding a little bit there, giving a couple of tenths back out, but
oh, City Posh sideways in the background, but he's got that gap down again. Yeah. City Posh is pushing very hard to catch back up. Although to be fair, I think everybody's pushing quite hard at the moment.
Yeah.
Is Junkie Sport in the pits? He is indeed.
Sport pits at the end of lap 6. SBY carrying on.
Oh, what's happened at the back? They looked apologising and Zom was round.
Has waited, so I think either he had a moment or he caused that spin. They were getting close together, so
well,
in contact.
Donzo's City Posh from Safer as well.
SBY carried on. Steph's gone through into 2. Junkie Sport out in P3. Donzo has really closed that gap. It's not filled the tank up. Junkie Sport has, and that gap between those two is now 2.6 seconds, so we've got the magnets on. Andy has come through, he's not pitted. P5. Mitsubishi's running longer, as is SBY. Winding down the inside of Donzo into 1. I think he's got the overspeed there, he's gone deep. Donzo cuts back underneath.
It is very difficult to spot braking points in these conditions. City Porsche Blue after the pit stops come back out in 8th place. Can he continue that charge he was on in the first stint?
Oh, Junkie Sport's on the wall. Through that fast chicane under the bridge. Very sideways there. So SBY is now your race leader. Into the wall he goes. He's probably got another lap's worth of fuel if he wants to try and push this on a little bit more. Does look like they're going to have to make another stop though. So it's not going to be a one-stop race. Just a splash of fuel. You can see how they're almost pedestrian-like coming around that hairpin just to make sure they don't spin off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were here last season with our Group 4 cars, and yeah, it was fairly pedestrian for us in the Aston Martin. Didn't like that corner at all.
I had a great time, to be honest, that corner was fine for me.
Donzo practically drive here. So.
Pretty much. Oh, it was that going deep one, so Felice again a little bit deep. SBY pits from the race lead. No, and Zonwa's gone round at the hairpin again. I think he's caught on the barrier on the inside, he's got to reverse. Get going again.
Just got to keep going as on. Everyone will get points tonight if they finish the race.
Steph pits as well.
SBY has also not filled the tank.
He's going to come out right behind Junkie Sport. His teammate coming up quickly behind. So these two will be close together again.
Well, Junkie Sport's 8-second lead being slashed with the round of pit stops.
Just 2.7. So now they've got him back in sight. Now they're back together as well. Can they slipstream their way back onto the tail of that Citroen? Oh, SBY slaps the wall. Coming out of 1. Donzo having a wiggle out of 2. So these Alphas are lively.
Steph after his pit stop was right behind switchback.
So City Posh is now only 8 seconds off the back of Junkie Sport. He was 14 when he started the pits. He has pretty much filled the tank as well.
I'm not sure if Zom has clicked the wrong button, but on my spread it says he's on a super soft tyre, which...
Well, they did... This was mentioned last season. Because I know Tom and Ron fancied it, but it's not... Yeah, it's not the right conditions for that. Unfortunately, it's too wet. Not going to work for Zom. I expect him back in again this lap to undo what he has just done.
Was 3 seconds behind his teammate, now 2.7, he's closing that gap again.
So gap between 40 seconds, 2.8. Rodeos around on the lap, depending on where they are. There's high speed bits. The Citroen pulls away and through the corners. Now for Romeo's coming back, but you can see the top 5 there, all in the same shot. So City Posh is now less than 8 seconds off the race leader.
What's their strategy is playing out differently for everyone. I mean, the Alphas obviously didn't fill the tanks, and Donzo's got a lot less fuel than everyone else at the moment.
So he's going to pit early, obviously. Now, do they sort of offset the extra time they're going to spend by not changing tyres in the second stint? She was over about 4 or 5 seconds, is it, for a tyre change?
It is indeed, but that in the stint, maybe faster than the time, I'm not sure.
So we shall see what level what he does as Alpha swap positions going into 1, but Junkie Sport is maintaining that gap. Safe is a little bit deep into 1.
The question is, how far can Junkie Sport take that fuel? The first run was 13 minutes. So if he's just short of 26 minutes, he might have to make a stop or save fuel in that last stint, because they'll be a minute short.
The Alpha's just under 4 seconds behind. He's not going to be able to save much. We've not got a lot of time to play with.
And obviously SBY took his 15 minutes.
Yes. So on back into the pits, I imagine for wet tyres this time. That little experiment has not worked.
I might suggest for Zom it might just be a misclick. It is very easy to do because you've been clicking super soft and soft all season. Although I'm not seeing much urgency from those single mechanics. Unfortunately.
So Junkie Sport's lead is down to under 3 seconds. He's lost about a second on this lap. Somewhere. Another big kick of oversteer on the power.
City Porsche's got his teammate on second place, and then the McLaren battle for 4th.
So Citroen leading, the Alfa Romeos battling over 2nd and 3rd at the moment. So you can see Porsche battling over 4th and 5th, so Alonso has lost the back of the Alphas a little bit. He's almost saying he can't select wetter winters. Powers through into P4, so he takes his teammate. Zom says he can't get the wet tyres.
Well, that is an issue. Kansas City Porsche close down this Alfa and repair it. It's dropped a second after being overtaken down the straight.
Sport just misses the wall through that quick S section under that bridge. He is pushing hard. SPY has just dropped his teammate a little bit. Still fairly close together. Still within slipstream range.
And he's had a spin at turn 1. Nearly dropped out of turn 2. It's dropping back behind the look. The look at P8.
Porsche is now just 6 seconds off the race lead. Him and Junkie Sport seem to be on similar strategies, so gonna have to get that gap down to nothing. Can't rely on an alternate pit strategy. SBY, we saw SBY and Donzo go longer in the first stint, but obviously they've short fueled, so they may be on a similar strategy in terms of when they have to pit.
Currently, City Porsche is very, very consistent. Just doing 2 minute 13.2. So they were sort of fluctuating a second and a half between laps. He's doing the same thing.
Interestingly, considering Junkie Sport filled the tank and SPY put in about 87 litres, they are now on pretty much the same fuel.
Yeah, Citroen is drinking it down the straight. City Porsche is gaining. That gap's up to 2.5. Switch back again, having a lonely race after a couple of mistakes and a couple of incidents. Down in P6.
Steph quite lonely as well. They look has got Andy not far behind, so completely Zom is unfortunately stuck on super soft tyres, unable to access the wet options, not quite sure what's gone on there. Back to your race leader, 2.5 seconds, that gap holding steady.
Gonzo's maybe got another lap in the tank.
Probably got a couple at me, not anywhere near the red line just yet, so we should see. So he's obviously going to have to pit early, so we're going to lose his teammate. So SBY is then going to have to do this on his own, but you can see there's the top four. Posh
down another second this lap. He's pushing on quite hard at the moment.
2:11.7 last time, fastest lap of the race. So again, that McLaren man is flying.
I don't know what the McLaren boys fed him after those first two races this season, but they want to keep on doing it.
Yeah, his Weetabix, definitely.
Maybe it's porridge, maybe a bit like bottles.
Race leader 2:13.1, P2 2:13.0, 2:12.8 from P3, 2:12.7 from City Posh, and take the 10th out of them this time.
Well, City Posh was 1.8 at the hairpin, it's now 2.8. Already got turn 1.
Had a bit of a poor drive off the corner. Donzo sweeps by into P2. So I think Donzo's picked up the slipstream from his teammate and that would have helped pull him away. That gap to Junkie Sport holding steady though, so Junkie Sport not cracking under pressure. They can see him. But they can't get to him at the moment. Yeah, Donzo flashing red now, so he'll be in this time around. Goes fastest though in the first sector by half a second. Oh, clips the wall though through the S's. And on the exit as well. That's the City Posh, so 3 of them there clipping the wall.
City Posh did, but he's got that gap back down to 1.5. If he can stay there, he'll be in slipstream range at the straight. He's pulled 1.5 seconds through the middle sector. He's flying.
Indeed. Junkie Sports gap up to 4.2 seconds, so all that wall banging from the Alphas has let him get away again. Donzo again in the wall, so he pushed sideways. Not power.
Well, Donzo will have to be in the pits this lap. But we've seen those Alphas, they can do 15 minutes, so fill the tank, he will be safe.
Wine a little bit sideways, trying to get on the power. City Posh is there this time. Yeah, he's not dropped off this time. Picking up the slipstream in the second. So we'll peel off into the pits. Junkie Sport pits as well. And no, SBY carries on. City Posh pits. Does one say Felice?
One says Felice has the most fuel by far.
He'd say have a short pit stop which could bring him back into contention. Sport's out.
Donzo.
And he's right on the tail of Junkie Sport.
Well, Donzo's nearly filled the tank. Unsafe's got less than 3/4 of a tank. Put in.
New strategies. Sports almost full. City Posh is just over 3/4. Seems like Release is going to do some fuel saving. Possibly. Donzo straight around the
Junkie Sports missed the brakes for turn 1. City Posh is right on him now. Had the wall through turn 1.
So the man in form is now looking right at the back of what was our net race leader. Is our net race leader. Where is SPY going to filter in? He's now on the red line, so he'll be in this lap. Right out to the wall there, SPY.
Every person that's pitting in this top battle has changed their tyres, so does SPY.
So he's got very little tyre wear, but I think fresh tyres, I think especially with the Alpha, if the tyres start to go off.
The Alpha has been susceptible to tyre wear and the occasional spin. But he has pulled a second on Junkie Sport this lap, and he's in that.
Light on the fuel, so he's pushing hard, differing lines through the S's, Junkie Sport and City Posh. Junkie Sport using all the travel, City Posh has a wiggle.
City Posh with a massive wiggle.
Slap the wall, Donzo trying to get back on terms. Safe release. Just doesn't seem to have the pace of the guys ahead of him. He's running quickly, but he's struggling a little bit. Steph and the very lonely P6 and the switchback are running close together, 7 and 8. They look a lonely P9. Zom, I think, is just going to have to sit in the pits.
Oh, SPY's away.
Junkie Sport is coming past the pits now, so this is going to be close. He's not going to be up to speed. Junkie Sport is closing.
It's going to tighten the turn 1 in 2 seconds at the moment.
Coming down 1.3, 1.1. He's in the slipstream now. Looking to blast past one of them down to turn 1. Here he goes.
Now, can they all stop into turn 1?
Junkie Sport can see Posh is going a little deep. Stays out the wall. Like. 3 cars, 8/10 of a second covering them. We are being blessed with another cracking finale again.
This one go down to the last lap.
Donzo trying to get back on terms. He's 3.3 seconds off the back of City Posh. Pushing to close on safe release, hanging on. Steph yet to stop. P6, switchback P7. Sideways with it as well. Deluxe P8 as Co-Andy is pitted.
City Posh practically pushing SPY through this middle sector. That McLaren is very quick through second turn.
Indeed. Whoa. That car is alive. That car is alive. And it is booking hard.
Well, we now have our 3-car train for the lead.
Oh, SPY.
There is something on Junkie Sports group. I'm not entirely sure what it is, as I don't get a nice enough camera angle, so I'm not going to look at it just in case. I'm going to keep my eyes forward.
Oh, SPY! Missed his braking point. He came in so hot there, and well, Junkie Sport was lucky to get away with that. He has, however, now got out of slipstream range because of that.
Has indeed.
And led pretty much from the start. It's the first time he's had any real pressure in this race since the opening couple of laps.
SPY is pulling. Look at the opposite off the slipstream.
Making a slingshot past. Start to close that gap to the race leader again. It's 1.8 seconds.
He's already got past City Posh. Well before the braking area.
So he's Citroen's so quick in a straight line. That gap is opening up. So City Posh and SPY need to start working together now. Get back on terms with Junkie Sport because he will pull away.
Very slow in a straight line in comparison.
So his top seed seems to be the Citroen's biggest strength. And on the main straight where it works, SPY purple in the first sector.
Oh, SPY wide. Just keeping out the wall. Oh, City Posh is sideways. Oh. I don't think I can watch City Posh for the 7 minutes. I can't do it.
That cost them half a second and more to Junkie Sport. Those wobbles. Donzo is still trying to get on terms. He's just taken a couple of tenths out of them, but not a lot. He's got rid of unsafe release though. Switch back in a lonely P6, although Steph isn't too far behind. Look in P8 ahead of Andy and Zom just waiting to finish the race. Unfortunately, the game's glitched, meaning he can't get on any wet weather tyres, so... Good for him.
Wood said after the first race, for mental exhaustion, it's going to be even worse after this one. It's been a very long night. There's a lot of concentration needed for 2 wet races.
Spa one was up. Oh, SBY! Tank slapper as he gets on the power. It's going to cost him straight line speed.
McLaren replicate the speed of the Alpha down the straight last time out.
On the slipstream, and he is closing rapidly. Gap is now 2.9 seconds to Junkie Sport, so he's got his head down.
I was going to say, how do you like your pressure? Junkie Sport just got the 2 fastest laps of the race.
2.5, 2.12.3.
Well, City Push did get past, but SBY is not going away. The Alpha is definitely quicker than the McLaren in a straight line. Side by side, in the break-ins over turn 1.
Push has the inside. Overtake done. The squabbling is going to let Junkie Sport get away, so they need to kind of get back into what they were doing with Don, or what SBY was doing with Donzo earlier, just overtaking on the straights where you don't lose time to each other. More importantly, to the car ahead. But car driving very well at this stage of the race. Switch back, just holding that gap to Steph around about 3 seconds.
Just went back and forward, Junkie, so it was very sideways to that middle sector. But then went back on board with City Porsche and he was even more sideways. So, yeah.
Junkie Sport just 0.036 down on his best lap, so he's still quick. City Porsche just opening a bit of a gap up to SBY. And he is now, he's now taking time out of Junkie Sport.
These boys have driven fantastically so far tonight.
Indeed.
Oh, City Porsche tried really hard to get out of slipstream. It was 1.2, but it's back out to 1 second, so SBY will still have a chance at turn 1.
Very different lines coming around that final hairpin. So Junkie Sport, they're using all the track going right out to the edge to kind of use the sort of flow to keep the speed up, while City Posh trying to get it turned tight and get the power down to sort of point and squirt. Very different styles trying to get the power down.
Well, that's it, Citroen's pulling away from the McLaren in a straight line.
Actually lost 4 tenths to City Posh on that lap. City Posh through 212 flats, through 212.4. The 2.12.7.
He was a full second back at the start of the straight. He got past again, but since it's the second one by half a second again.
So that's the benefit of the slipstream.
Oh, he's run deep into turn 1 though. He keeps it on the wall.
Whoa. That's a big sideways moment. Bonzo behind them, not actually gaining on them at all. He's falling away a little bit, so he's going back towards unsafe release, who seems to have finally becoming alive a little bit. So it'll be about, but let's be why they're hitting the wall on the right hand side. So they're looking for the left hander.
Let's be why still purple. I think City Posh might be the quicker car, but he's not the quicker car in a straight line.
Both of these cars are quick through this middle sector where it's flowing corners, is where the kind of cars excel. You can see they're getting that gap down now, it's down to 2 seconds, so Junkie Sport's losing a bit of time, but after this section, this is where the Citroen is strong now, the straight lines.
Well, we've only got 1 more lap, so
barring a mistake, Put on for his 2nd victory of the season. You can just see how much better he's got. He's put 6 tenths initially on the power out of the corner. So Junkie Sport really getting the power down at that hairpin, which is key to getting speed all the way down the straight. And now he's just pulling away in a straight line.
I mean, is nice to see a City one quickly in a straight line, as City Posh is gaining, but she doesn't have anything against an out in a straight line.
With his personal fastest lap, 2:12.0.
City Posh had pulled out. And they'll be side by side in the braking zone for turn one. Did he go stop for turn one? City Posh is sideways!
Oh, contact!
Oh, there's contact!
City Posh with the drift there. I think he was getting in a bit hot. Tricky conditions. Well, I think, barring a very big mistake now, that means Junkie Sport should be able to bring this home. I think the picture on top of Junkie Sport's car is just a slightly provocatively dressed woman, so you're okay with stuff. It's not quite Zach's car.
Oh, City Posh!
Oh, that's a big moment there, and
Yeah.
that'll be P2, I think, confirmed for SBY.
Oh, just trying a little bit too hard to get back on terms with SBY after the contact at turn one.
Might need to watch his mirrors now for Donzo, who's closed up. Unsafe release has dropped away again.
City Posh sideways again.
Down to the hairpin for the final time. He has led pretty much from the... Oh, he's gone deep though. Gone very deep. Can you get the power down? SBY's close, but not close enough. So he won on top of this in quite dominant fashion. It's been a bit harder. No hard work this time. He's been made to work for it. Junkie Sport wins at Tokyo East in the wet. Great drive from Carl. He takes the victory from SBY. Good drive from him. City Posh, fantastic drive, comes home for P3. He seems to be a little bit annoyed himself there. Could have been more. P4 for Donzo's, good effort from him. And so Felice sideways across the line for P5.
Switchback, not the races he would have wanted tonight.
No, a very lonely drive, a couple of mistakes early on. Just go back to the store, see what other toys you can find to make this car go faster. It's bound to be something. 6 for him, Steph, P7. After his victory early on, I think I'll be happy with a solid points finish. Did look running well early on, but had a spin. Lost him a lot of time. Comes across P8. Andy could have been earlier on, but points for P9. Zon meanwhile has crossed the line already. Unfortunately not able to get back onto wet tyres. So Junkie Sport is your winner for round 8. Second win of the season. And very well driven from him there. Pressure for a large portion of that second half of the race. Stood firm. And that's a very good victory from him.
It is indeed.
Well, standout drivers in that one. Obviously, I think Junkie Sport was excellent again. SBY was solid. City Posh coming through from the back. Top 3 did very well.
I think we can say it confidently that GT2 has shown again it delivers at the highest level.
Indeed, so championship reaches its halfway point. And tomorrow night we are back with GT1 as we take on rounds 7 and 8. Thankfully we're on dry tracks this week, but we are at Tokyo South for the Group 4 race, followed by Le Mans for the Group 3 race, so do tune in tomorrow night from 8 o'clock for more GT Sport action with GT1. Well, thank you very much for co-commentating tonight, Pagani.
My pleasure.
And we will see everybody tomorrow for GT1. But thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the action, and we will see you tomorrow for some more great FTRL racing action. But for tonight, thank you very much, and goodbye.